differently today, trying out a setup in our classroom. We've got some events coming up, so I've been testing things out, seeing how things go for live streams with guests and hardware and classes and presentations. So I've got a guest here today who we've been talking about having on for a while, and it just lined up that this is what I was doing today. So let's see who's in the chat, who's hanging out from the beginning today. Acid Bat is here. What's up? Buenos dias. Martin Crockett. We've got Martin Crockett. Arsene is back. Ben Colts is here. Netrunner. Lots of familiar names so far. Itzy's here. Luminous Cloud. Bug Tank. Mike Harding in the UK. What's up? Welcome. Oxygen levels critical. Manuel Gloda. Omar Maya, first timer. Very nice. Josh Holiday. Der Schal. Und Klang. Omar Mays. Did I say that already? Let's see. I think that's most of you guys. Regular freestyle videos. How could we forget regular freestyle videos? Seriously. Rex84. Ableton is on. They said bring back Carl Finlow. I don't think that's the official Ableton. And I would love to have Carl Finlow back on, let me tell you. All right. So, here we go. All right, everybody, what's up? We are here. We are live. I'll be honest with you. I'm always full disclosure, like when I'm when I'm feeling something. I've changed up my whole situation. I've taken myself out of the comfort zone of our little content studio on the other side. And we're here in the classroom with the lights and everything, and we're setting up hardware. And I'm here with Lauren Flax. Welcome, Lauren. How you doing?
Hi, how are you?
Pretty good. And yeah, so this all kind of came together like real quick. I mean, we've been talking about it for a while, like having you on. But yeah, it just coincided with, you messaged me, and then I was thinking about doing this setup, and we were, talking about doing some stuff with hardware, and so that's what we did today. Simple hardware setup, although I say simple because of the stream, it gets complicated with all the audio routing and everything. I'm using a wireless headset mic for the first time, which is pretty cool. Oh, yeah, I wish I had another one for you.
You know what, though, it reminds me of Logic and there, and I used to have to wear my little headset microphone in like 2003.
Exactly, yeah.
A little guitar that hooks into a...
I've seen some pictures of you with playing the guitar. You play guitar? Cool. So,
not pretty well, but
you can get away with it. Plenty of people make awesome music who just have good musical ideas. You don't have to be a virtuoso. Exactly. I agree. And anyway, to segue, I got to do my due diligence and say, as always...
Selway, segue.
I know, right? Yeah, this is, we got to work our way up in terms of the production with like transitions. I need like a video mixer engineer, like I need a real-time graphics person, I need a cameraman moving around. One of these days we'll do that. For right now, we're self-contained. But anyway, we are 343 Labs Music Production School here in New York City. I'm in one of our classroom event spaces here at our New York location. We also have our spot at Riverside Studios in Berlin. We do a lot of events there as well, and we do music production classes. I do synthesis and sound design, Ableton Live music production. I have a making techno course, online course that we just finished that went great. I was really psyched about that, and I'm in the process of working on making electro online course as well. So we'll let you know about that. We're starting up a year program now. If you really want to focus and go deep, you can come here and take classes in all of our classes and get private instruction, mentorship, opportunities to perform. We're partnering up with a local recording studio to learn about, recording and mixing in the context of a real studio. And yeah, it's looking up. A lot of people are interested, and we're really psyched about that. So if you want to know more, check out the description below. You've got links to our site in the US, in New York and in Berlin. There's all our online courses we're offering. And one more thing about the year program is if you like to travel, you can sign up for this program and split your classes up and organize them up depending on what you need. You can take classes in New York, you could go take classes in Berlin, you could take classes online, whatever fits your location, your schedule, however you want to do it. So That said, I don't know. We actually have to do something. No, let's talk about you for a little bit more, because I think not some of you out there might be familiar with Lauren as a DJ and a musician and music producer, but for those of you who are new, tell us a little bit about what you've been doing and where you sort of come from in terms of your DJing and your music production.
The whole 90s are kind of a blur.
I have to apologize. I have to stop you. We're going to start over again because your mic was down.
Okay.
So they missed our repartee before. It was just me.
Okay.
This is what I was nervous about. Not the music, not the techno.
Go easy on us.
The mixing. Go easy
Yes.
on me. So let's start over. All right. So I did my whole spiel about 343 Labs. We missed the little banter before, but we were just introducing Lauren officially. So this is a good place to start that again.
Okay. So now you can hear me. My name is Lauren Flax. I am originally from Detroit, a raver child of the 90s. Obviously Detroit's the birthplace of techno, no matter what Frankfurt, Germany may say in that museum. But we're not going to talk about that. So annoying. I was basically raised on dance music from a very young age. So once I started high school, I was listening to like industrial and then house, techno, jungle, electro.
I was going to say, you as a DJ, you play drum and bass.
I started off playing jungle for the first 3 years. In fact, I called myself a junglist and not a DJ. So I even have like a tattoo that says like Jungle Queen. You can't even see it anymore.
Oh boy.
I know, I was obsessed. But I hit a block with that. I didn't like the progression of where it was going. And it's funny because now that jungle is coming back, it's the kind of jungle I loved back in the day. And it looks like a lot of people are making that music again. I won't necessarily...
I noticed that. There's some good stuff coming out.
It's really cool.
Yeah.
Moved to Chicago for a couple years, and then I've been in New York since 2002. And just, DJing the whole time from 95 till now.
Right.
Yeah. I went to the Recording Institute of Detroit before I moved to Chicago. Didn't really do that much for me because I'm a person that's tactile. I'm not great at learning through manuals. I'm just not.
Sure.
I need to do it, and I need to do it over and over and over, and I need to put my hands on it. That's what she said. And that's how I learn. That's how I do it. So yeah, once I moved to Chicago, I started to get my hands on some friends' gear. MPC 2000 was the first piece of gear that I learned, and then moved to New York and slowly picked some things up here and there, but was mostly in the box for I have a band called Creep, and we did most of that in the box, most of that record in the box. It's more of a trip hop band. But all of the, I started to get out of the box in 2017. I bought my Prophet 6, and I bought
Nice.
a TR8.
Nice.
And a TR, what did I get? The TB03 as well.
Sure.
So those 3 pieces of gear are still clutch. I upgraded to the TR8S, and I could still just produce with those 3 things exclusively.
Definitely. Yeah.
But luckily, I have a studio now with three good friends of mine: Juan McLean, Physical Therapy, and Love Letters.
Nice.
And the 4 of us have a studio, and we have a
lot
really
of gear.
beautiful
I mean, even
amount
just
of gear.
Juan, forget about it.
I've got what's his Prophet 500, or it's a very old. It's the first synth that had Midi, and it is just so good.
Beautiful.
But yeah, so it's super fun, and this piece right here is the centerpiece to our studio, which controls all the gear.
Yeah, what you're just pointing to
is this Arturia Keystep Pro.
Right, you were
So
telling
this
me
guy.
about this. This is like your main track starter. This is what you use.
I started with the BeatStep Pro, and that was the centerpiece for my live sets.
Right.
And that was controlling all my gear. The thing that the difficulties I learned through my band with Creep, with performing live, was we had to use computers, and they were always the bane of my fucking existence. That was always the thing that would break down.
I've been there.
I do not use a computer live at all. So
Okay.
it's all got to be programmed. So I would program it before with the BeatStep Pro, which is a great piece, which has, it can program 3 different pieces of hardware, or your DAW. This has 4. and it has the keyboard too, and the beat step has the pads. So this is a nicer piece for an actual studio.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a keyboard controller. It's got some knobs on it.
Yeah, I'm going to teach you guys these cute little things that you can do.
That's great.
Quickly to make some dance music.
So, I'm the student today.
Cool.
and you guys. So, Lauren's going to share how he does things with the KeyStep Pro, and I'm going to try to keep it under control in terms of the sound. And I don't know, you can let me know if there's anything else you want me to do.
Okay.
The other thing I'm trying out, this is all like a bunch of new stuff today. In addition to having a different format and standing here exposed with the full camera and lights and everything, is I've got some new hardware. I finally got one of these Behringer XR mixers, which I've been wanting for a long time, and they weren't available. But having a digital mixer that you can control remotely and is also an audio interface and has built-in effects and everything is a really cool thing. And so I'm using that. That's what's up here right now. And I've literally learning today. You guys are learning with us. I'm learning how to do this setup in this room and learning the new mixer. And now I'm learning about the KeyStep Pro. So, I think Live Society earlier said engineers always forget the mic levels and the mutes, and that's exactly what happened. As soon as we hit live, I was like, duh. I forgot how to use the mixer. So it's just all part of the process. Thanks for being cool about it, everybody. So I don't know, let's get into
all right, let's get
the
into
KeyStep
it
a little bit.
All right, let's see. I think what we can do is start with a little, let me move this mic a little bit, get this situated. I think what we can do is probably start with the TR-8S. So if you're looking here, you'll see I have 4 different tracks. Track 1 is going to be kicking out Midi to the drum machine. So there won't be any MIDI information. You can also program your patterns within the TR-8, but I'm going to do that, everything within here. So if I have, track 1 pressed and drum, you're going to hear all the drums like this. And so what we can do, and I'll just make a quick little 4/4 situation. So if I have the kick highlighted here, everyone can hear me okay, by the way? Am I talking in the mic enough? So what you do is, if you're making dance music, you can kind of see right away where the beginning of each little section is. So if I just hit play here, there's no sounds in here. It's only kicking out information, and you can sequence it. So it's kicking out the sound here. So
all right.
If we go over to the bass drum, if you want to mess with the bass drum,
that's deep.
But if we're doing some jacking stuff, short decays for jacking.
Sure, definitely.
And you can just widen some decays and then bring it down to a quick short decay. We're going to go through all that. So I'm going to just kind of build out a little pattern here. And I think I'm going to extend the length. Right now it's just doing a 4-bar loop. But we're going to extend this. If I want to do that, I'll hit last step. Right now, just this one is highlighted. Let's go all the way over here. We'll make it go through all 4. So I got to go back, press here, then I can just do the same thing. Just to get everything.
Watch your mic, Lauren, sorry.
Yep. Move this so that this will be easier. Okay.
Next time, note to self, get an extra wireless headset for the guest.
So now we've got, we're going all the way through to 64. I like doing this because you can really kind of make patterns more, it's not so straightforward. You can have them, I like to change up the hats and the snares and things and make it move a lot more instead of it being so simple. So I'm going to go ahead and find my open hat. So I can either punch it in here or I can hit record.
I think if I had a 4-bar pattern, I would be really impatient doing it putting the steps for each one. I just want to play it.
So now if I go over here, I can adjust my open hat. I can keep it open here and then find my... So here's my close hat, and what I can do is automatically close the open hat. So I'm just going to go ahead and record. Thank God for quantization. So now we've got you know, it's not just a simple pattern, it's got movement. Gonna unselect that so that we can mess around. We have, maybe we'll find a clap. I don't know if we have a clap on this one.
There's got to be a clap on here.
Yeah,
Or do we have to switch it? Yeah, it's there. Well, anyway, don't worry about it.
Okay, so we'll just stick with. You also want to make sure, you know, you're watching where you are in the big loop. So I'll hit record on there.
Oh, right. Yeah, you want to make sure if you're doing fills and variations that you're having at the end of the right bar.
Yep. Then we can, you know, play with the snare. Okay, so now we've got a little variation there. And I love me some toms.
That's loud.
Sure is.
Where's the level for those toms?
Let's start this over and then hit play. So you can also, if you make mistakes, you just go back to, I'll hit stop here. We'll go on the actual sound. You can see, and you can just make your changes really easily there, you know.
You're just turning off steps that you didn't want.
Yep.
That's also just, you could just like randomly hit a bunch of stuff and then edit to taste, right?
1000%.
Yeah.
Yep. You don't have to worry about playing super perfectly. Okay, so now we've got a little basic beat. I'm not super into this actually, so I'm just going to turn that down. Let's see where my other Mercury's in reggaeton.
No,
so.
seriously. It's been an adventure getting this all going today. And it remains an adventure. I see someone commented that the mics were low, and that has been rectified hopefully by now. Let us know
Cool,
that
yeah,
it's
let us
sounding
know.
all right. I'm liking this kind of, you know, late 80s Chicago-y vibe going on here. Makes me want to have some 303 going on.
Yeah,
Should've
always,
plugged one of
always,
those in.
always.
Seriously.
Okay, so I like this. So if we want to go over and maybe put this chord mini log. I have this on track 2, the chord mini log, which is all hooked up through Midi. And if this is already set to MIDI channel 1. You can change these if you have external gear and you want to learn what the MIDI channel is, just Google what it is, and then you want to set the MIDI channel to the proper thing. So this, we have it set to MIDI channel 2, and this one is going to be on MIDI channel 1.
All right.
Do you want me to go through these steps I'm going through right now? Do you want me to get pretty deep like that? We only have an hour, so I guess what we could do is
just make some sound. Let's add something to this groove.
Okay, so now I've got the chord mini log here, and just this. It's just set to a 1-bar loop right now. We'll just do. Sorry, I'll try to remember the microphone. What do I want to do? We didn't really plan anything out, so let's see. Let's try.
We really put ourselves on the spot today. Seriously, like.
If you listen to house music, you know about the chords that you just pick one chord and then you can just change the pitch of that.
There's a name for that. It's parallel chords.
Okay. Yes. So
and a lot of synths have chord memory where you can program a triad or whatever, and then you're able to hit those notes on all those notes on one key. And that's pretty much this. You're gonna
This is a super easy way to do it. So I'm just gonna hit record. Now since I've just got the 1-bar loop, it's just going through the 1. And I'm going to try to do it. I've got it here, right? So now, if I hit copy, which is right here, you see this turns to blue. Copy this, and I'm just going to paste it randomly around.
Nice.
Okay?
I like
we got
that.
a little, But if you want to make it a little more interesting, we can just hold one of these down, change the pitch. This is the pitch wheel.
So you're transposing the step?
Transposing the steps.
Nice.
You only have to do the one thing, and then you can just... Okay, I like that better. So I had this highlighted, and I just turned that off. So let's just mess around now with the mini chord, the mini log.
I'm over here playing with the effects on the mixer. Sounds nice with some delay and reverb on it.
Yeah, this sounds nice. And so for track 3, we got this Moog Siren over here. Can't hear it too well.
It's a dark sound.
You want to go ahead and give it a little...
Oh, you want me to do it?
Yeah.
All right. What key are we in?
Oh, the cool thing also, if you... Okay, so I am really bad at the keys and piano, so this is a really good piece for people that never took the time to learn how to play the piano. So if I go back to here and I hold this down, it shows you the actual chord that you're in. So this is where we are. So if I wanted to go to another here, I know that this chord would work with it, or this note would work with this chord. So if I hit... You're better at keys than me, so I'm going to have you record.
All right.
Do you want to do a 1-bar loop, or do you want me to go all the way through?
How about 2?
Okay, we'll go 2. So we hit last step, and we'll go through 2 times. And then I'm going to hit record here.
It sounds like today is it's Selway's old school house Saturdays a little bit. We're recording now, right? Now, I like the melody. I don't love the rhythm. Show me how to fix it.
Okay, so we want to fix the rhythm, meaning you want to change where these notes are?
Well, all right. It sounds like, did it quantize it or not?
Yeah, it's quantized. Maybe if we tighten this one up a little bit, you'll be able to hear if we change the decay, lower the decay a little bit. Oh, maybe it's the attack actually. Yeah, the attack kind of gives a little
bit
delay in the
soft.
beginning.
I think I just randomly hit a preset there on the siren. I think it actually is a brass sound, so it had a slow attack on it. What was that? That was crazy. Oh, you're just trying different presets now. This is okay, actually. Now that I changed the sound a little bit up to the bass, it works. It's very percussive. I mean, very syncopated.
I'm trying to find a preset that'll be good with cutting out the sustain.
Oh, okay.
Music.
There you go.
This way we can play with it a little bit, the decays. Yeah.
Interesting. So I'm wondering, it's a step sequencer, right? Does each step have a separate note length?
You can adjust. We have the pitch here, gate, velocity, time shift, and
Okay.
randomness.
I think it would probably be the gate.
The gate is what you'll probably use. I use pitch and gate the most, and velocity depending, but I'm not really using these too much. But I'm sure maybe I'm missing out. But I think we started something chill.
I said I wanted acidy. I think I'm trying to make that bass sound a little bit more acidy with the resonance. And so this is pretty much how you play live then?
Yes. So, well, I actually would play live and plan out the whole thing, MIDI kicking out all the information. it's really like organized, and I'm trying to get to a place where I can just kind of free flow and not have it so organized. But that's a little scary.
It is.
At the same time.
No, like, just right now, like this groove's really good, but if you're doing this in the moments for a crowd, like, and you get stuck, for example, like, oh my God, what do I do?
Yeah.
I mean, there's always that. That always buys you time.
Yes.
When you're doing a performance for the dance floor, is just to play with the kick drum.
So if we wanted to maybe make a different progression here.
Well, right, that's kind of what I was getting at. It's like, all right, you've got that chord progression. How do you transition to something else?
Okay, so let's see.
Play with the sound a little bit.
Yeah, that'd be great. I'm gonna save this pattern. So you'll see it's red. Now it's saved. If I hit that again, it turns blue. Do the same thing for here. Save pattern. Hit 1. Now we've saved the patterns. So if we want to try a different mini log, we'll flip ahead to the second one.
Okay. All right. So what about the bass line? See, actually, this comes up a lot. It's cool that we're getting into this conversation about how, like, performing live and transitioning from one track to another without stopping. How do you do it?
Basically, we're not quite there. We want to write a few different patterns, and
You
then
need
we
some
can
stuff
do.
ready to go.
Yep, we're gonna write a few different things, and then we can pattern chain. So
Got
we can
it.
actually start at 1, and you can set it so that it goes 1 4 times, and then go to 2
Oh, I
4
see.
times.
So there's more
and
progression over one track.
you can just program the entire track that way for all of them, and that way you just basically can hit play and go through and perform, which is really good because it just opens up your ability to use your arms. We only have 2 arms, and that's what I'm kind of upset about. But
You want more arms?
I want more arms. But because it's fun when you're playing live, you're gonna want to manipulate your sounds. You're gonna want to be able to run around and do some fun things, and this gives you the ability to do that. Just like a lot of people do with Ableton when they perform live, but this just kind of replaces the DAW. This also works with your DAW, obviously. So now maybe we could write a different chord progression.
Sure, give it a shot. But what about the key? It doesn't
So
matter.
I do
Maybe
it-
if you're being techno, it doesn't matter.
Yeah, if it's in a key, it's not techno, apparently. But for me, I just play with my ears, so it might sound terrible until I find something I like.
Okay.
We can just start. We'll just keep it simple, like I like that.
I have an idea. That's good. Could you take on that bass track? Could you just shorten it and loop one part of it?
Yes. Okay. So we're gonna go back to the bass sound, and if I hit,
Like if I wanted to just do the second half and not the first half.
that is more tricky. I don't know how to do that actually.
Okay.
You probably
Well,
can.
just the first one then?
But if you want to just do the first one, or even just like part of the first one, you hit last step
Oh,
and say
right.
like 11. Wait, that's not. Wait, what did I do?
Ah! Although you accidentally made kind of a decent variation.
Let me think here.
I'm just going to keep tweaking the Moog siren because it sounds cool.
Okay, so if I hit last step, right now it's set to 16. Of the second one, let's see.
I see. Can you just make it only just the first bar first?
Yeah, see now it's just going straight to 11, which it doesn't sound that great with this particular one. So
I
we're
don't
gonna go back.
mind
Yeah, you like it?
It's doing that polymetric thing, right? It's counting an odd number of steps.
Yes, which is like my favorite thing to do. It's great to do with drums. So if I go back to the drum and find the, let's see. Okay, so here's the hats. We actually don't hear any of these open hats right now.
Oh, because it's down on the...
Okay, cool. So what's cool though about this is if I change the pattern length of this, just the closed hat, I'll change it to 11. What was it? Oh, why not?
Something happened, but it sounded cool.
making the whole drum loop. I'm trying to remember because I haven't done it this way in a while.
All right.
You can do it also on the actual TR8 and the TR8S. Shoot, I really want to show you how to do that.
Take your time. In the meantime, I'm going to play with the synth.
Okay, I see what it is. It's because we're going all the way through. So if I were to, which is kind of cool, if I just go here to this one, it will only go to as far as I set it here.
Okay.
But if I change this just to a 1-bar loop right here, hit the last step, change it to, let's have it just stop at 11.
It sounds like it's
Sounds
resetting
crazy.
the whole
Yeah,
drum beat.
it is. It sounds terrible. So I'm going to go back to here because it looks like I can't do it with just the hats here.
I see what you're saying. All right, yeah, you would need a separate sequencer track just for the hi-hats.
Yeah, it's
but
a
you
bummer.
can do that on the TR8 and the TR8S, right?
Yes, and it's really awesome to do
That's
because
powerful.
it ends up, what ends up doing if you use the closed hat always affects the open hat. So if you change the pattern length to a shorter length of the closed hat, it will actually open up the open hat at different times. It will constantly be evolving. So you really want to play with pattern lengths in weird moments to get things to just kind of be different and not so,
Sure.
kind of boring. I need things to move around a lot.
You do, and that's like this whole time I've been like, you're focusing on the key step, and I'm like playing with the drum levels, and we've never done this before. We haven't done a live
we
set
didn't
together.
plan
We didn't-
anything. This is all
exactly.
just on the fly.
But it's kind of fun.
It is super cool. So I'm going to save the drum pattern. And I'm going to go to pattern 2. Let's just make it a kick. Okay, I'm going to save this. And then I can actually copy this. Copy pattern 2. Paste pattern to 3. So now when I go, did it work? Let's see if that worked. So copied it over, and if I want to like make a progression, you copy it over and then you add more to it, and vice versa.
I see.
Okay, so now we're getting a little progression together. This is how I build out my tracks. So I'm gonna copy pattern 3, paste pattern to 4,
And then make a change.
and then go to 4. Yep, and then I can. Okay, we're building a little progression here, so I'm gonna save pattern 4.
And you're adding drums each time.
Yep, and then I'm gonna copy that pattern, paste it to 5, skip on over to 5.
Nice comment here, Antonio watching on I think my YouTube channel. We're going out to 343 and my Selway YouTube channel. Apparently, you are an acid queen.
Thank you. That's very kind.
We really should have brought the 303 out.
Okay, that sounds cool.
There it is.
There we go. All right, I like this progression so far, so I'm going to save that pattern. That's a ton of stuff right there. Nice.
Apparently, you can make a Moog siren sound a little bit like a 303.
Sick. This little guy is amazing. Do you know what they go for?
Too much. They stopped making them. It's the same as the Minotaur.
Right. Okay. Well, what else I should add to the key step? I don't use these as much.
Anybody out there in the chat remember how much of Moog siren is going for nowadays? Or look it up on Reverb. Last I looked, it was like way inflated. What just happened? happened?
So we've got these different like stutter settings.
Oh wait, you can like play real time, like
Yep.
play around with the MIDI. Oh, cool. That's very useful for performance.
Super fun. Yeah, it's super fun for live. So if I want to kind of create a progression, I'm going to do what's called pattern chaining. So I would say for the drums, I'm going to stop this for a second.
Non-compliant said 900 to 1,000 for a Moog Siren. Are you serious? Oh my God,
Wow.
I'm selling this. I bought it for a lot less than that.
Oh. I should also add that the KeySet Pro is $450 new, which I think is pretty, decent for the amount, for what it does. And you can definitely find it also on Reverb for cheaper.
Oh, the KeySet Pro is a deal.
This
for
is
how powerful it is.
crazy.
Yeah.
Like all of the Arturia stuff, they're really good with their pricing. So if you're looking to get more out of the box and get more control and less in the DAW, for me, it's hard to work in a computer anymore. Like I need to touch things, I need to jam, I need to play, I need to move around and dance. And you can definitely do that in the box, and you can just use MIDI controllers as well. But I ended up going this route. So let me show you how to pattern chain. So I believe what I'll do is start with the first one. So I'll hit, since it's just a 4-bar loop, I'm going to hit pattern, and I'm going to hit it 4 times. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Oh, wait, I'm going to actually start with 2. Let's do this. Pattern, 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. So it should go through all 4 of those 4 times each before going on to the next. Let's see if I did it right.
Had to go back to the beginning.
Let me think, because I haven't actually done this in a while.
Uh-oh.
Oh, okay. I think I was hitting the wrong thing. So I'm going to chain. I hit chain. Apologies, please. It's been a minute. So you'll hit chain. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4.
Someone in the chat's got a KeySet Pro for sale. What's the price?
3, 4. Yeah.
See.
What are you selling it for?
So, all right.
So that should have.
There was just a comment about MIDI stutter. And I know you were just doing the stuttering on purpose as an effect. And when you do that, it stays in time, right? Like it goes back to the
Yeah, it's
clock.
quantized. Yep.
But when you were changing the length earlier, it sounded like it was restarting or resetting.
Yeah, because it sounded weird because when you do it with a whole drum pattern, it's not like as I did it on the 11th hit. It's going to sound weird. I like to put it on an odd number on other things to create a weird loop. We'll do that we'll create something else on track 4, and we'll try to do something with that and a shorter pattern length to kind of see the evolution of how it goes. So I'm just going to hit play here, and hopefully this, yep, we're good now. So it starts here. It's going to go through this 4 times. And do we want to keep this? I kind of think I want to put this back just for now. Length. Oops. We're going to go through all the way. This is going to call the bass line we just put back to a full loop. So let's just do. Let's open that back up. I like the progression of that. So now it's automatically going through. This gives you the energy too, and the time and the arms to, once you want to record this into your DAW, to be able to program it out, and then I can.
You're playing with the drum sounds.
Yeah, so you can go through and manipulate and do things live, so it's recorded in with movements and things like that. So it's really good, and you do the same thing with the mini log. I can record in different things, and then my hands are free because it's automatically changing on its own, and I can mess with the effects live. Super, super fun, super useful.
I agree. No, and you're talking about like how you perform, but you're also talking about how you
in the studio
produce.
too. Yeah, in the studio too. Because
so how do you get your sounds? I mean, what DAW are you using to start with?
I use Ableton.
Oh, okay.
I'm sorry, I don't use Logic. I have used Logic since before Apple bought it.
Oh wow.
When it was eMagic and you needed a dongle. So like 2000 or something like that. Maybe 2001 or 2002. Yeah. So, and I use Ableton. It just doesn't register as easily as Logic does. And they both do do the same. So I highly encourage you to just use whatever works with your brain. Don't listen to anybody. What's better, is vinyl or digital better? No, just use what makes sense with your brain. Trust me.
And I've never used Logic to make. I barely. I mean, maybe years ago. Like I've collaborated with other people, but I never used it on my own, like by choice. Like if I'm using
That's
Logic,
how I feel about Ableton.
someone sends me a project that was done in Logic that I need to work on. And I've gotten so caught up in, live. Obviously, I'm an instructor, and I teach people how to use it, and I perform with it, and I produce with it. And I don't know. I like Bitwig. Bitwig looks amazing, but I feel like at this point, I'm so caught up in live that there's no point in switching.
Yeah, I mean, use what works. I really want to learn Bitwig as well, eventually. I just haven't done it because, it's been years. I'm like, I really want to learn it, and then I just haven't. But, yeah, definitely don't listen to anybody else. Just use what makes sense.
Let's try to switch the groove up a little bit. Let's throw in some new ideas. New bass line. Maybe do it. Why don't you try another chord progression?
Okay.
And then I'll try to come up with a bass. And we'll see how that works. Meanwhile, you don't worry about what you're doing right now. I'm going to talk to the chat a little bit, and just keep making music.
Okay, cool. Cool. Your bass line went, though. I want to get your bass line.
Oh, you want to hear the bass line?
Yes.
Okay.
Because I'm going to make another chord progression with that. Then we can do it different.
All
yeah,
right.
And then we'll make a different chord, different bass line.
Let's see what you guys are talking about there. Another nice comment from Non-Compliant here. Lauren is a phenomenal DJ, not just good tunes, but also skilled. And I gotta back that up. I've heard Lauren play, and you kill it.
Thanks, buddy.
Yeah.
Hi, Lisa. I love you. I miss you. Non-Compliant. Don't mess with Non-Compliant. We got to do it back-to-back at some point.
That's a good idea. Nice. They're talking about... Oh, yeah, Non-Compliant's talking about the Scorp Hapax. Have you heard of that? That's a crazy sequencer, right? I haven't checked it out. So, we've been going for a little while now. It's not quite an hour yet. Just remind you that you're watching 343 TV, brought to you by 343 Labs, music production school here in New York City, and in Berlin, and online. And for those of you tuning in later, this is obviously a little bit different than we normally do. Figuring out the technical issues, setting up different types of live broadcasted events here in one of our spaces in New York. And this is what happens when you do new things. There's a process. I've got my
this is
my
hard.
new mixer. This is hard, yes. It's hard to go on live in front of people and like talk and create.
Yeah,
and
this is like being
handle
naked.
the tech and deal with problems like the mic weren't loud enough before. We seem to be doing okay now. But yeah, I mean, it's juggling, right? I'm trying to figure out like when to switch the cameras while I talk to you and while I talk to Lauren and while I try to think creatively. So thanks to everybody for hanging out and being chill with us today while we kind of figure things out in front of you. And while we have fun and just jamming around a little bit. So what's going on here?
I'm just basically trying to figure out new chords. So
Got it.
you go ahead and do what you do. This is the hard part. This is the naked part, is sounding bad until you find something good, but we shouldn't be embarrassed about it, honestly.
That's true. It's always a process.
Yeah.
You go through a bunch of stuff until you get it right. Keep practicing. Keep trying. I'm going to play around with the effects on your synth here. A little reverb. I want to get some delay going on. That's nice.
Okay, I think we got a little something.
I'm trying out
Save
the
this
built-in
pattern.
effects, trying to built in effects on this X Air, this system here, this X18 that I got. And there's just a tap tempo. So I was trying to get the delay to be like syncopated, like that dotted eighth. Let's see what happens with play. Let's see how this thing sounds with some more feedback. Dubbing it out a little bit.
So it's only tap tempo? You can't set it to 120?
Yeah, this particular mixer just does tap tempo, which is pretty typical for a live mixer like that. But that's okay. It doesn't have to be.
Yeah.
I like it off.
It doesn't have to be totally perfect. I think that's.
No, I feel like we need to do a different bass line for this. It's gotten dummy because I put the echo on it.
Okay, so you're up for that.
All right.
Go ahead and hit record.
No, don't record yet. You get to hear me stumble through my bass ideas. Do I want to do like a pulsing kind of simple bass?
Yeah, this is good for progressions.
I'm gonna have to turn that up in the mixer a little bit. I also like the idea of doing.
It's cool because it's still going through the different patterns of the drums, so you can hear the progression. It'll give you ideas too.
We do kind of a Reese thing.
I'm telling you, this thing is crazy. If everyone's making jungle again, this is amazing for Reese bass.
The simple, more percussive bass or the sustained kind of?
We should do both.
Okay.
I can hit record when you're ready.
Yeah. Back it up. It's 2 bars?
Yep. Yes. So I'm going to save that. So if the quantization is off a little bit, you can just copy and paste that note and move it to where it belongs if the playing is a little off. No offense.
Sorry. What happened to the kick? It's real quiet. Weird, it got so thin. Did we do an effect on by accident? Aha, we accidentally turned it down.
We're doing great.
We're on top of the world. I was trying to make the kick a little more thumpy and less clicky.
So maybe, do you want to record the other?
Yeah, let's try it.
Okay, I don't know if you want to practice this first.
Oh, there it is. I think the tuning of the kick was a little too low, right? You got to be careful because, like,
The frequencies?
yeah, like if the fundamental is too low, it might sound cool in your headphones, but sometimes in a room it gets lost
Yeah.
because the fridge system doesn't have the low extension or your monitors don't have that low frequency.
Same with toms too. I struggle sometimes because I love having toms, and the frequencies, it's hard for me to figure out what's clashing. It's oftentimes the toms, whether it's the decay or the actual pitch. So
I think that's it. back to being acidy now. What? Moog synths, you know, whether it's something small like this or one of the bigger, fatter ones with more oscillators, even like this just has 2 oscillators, it still growls. Just got that Moog sound. It's great. I'm talking myself out of selling it.
I mean, honestly, let me know if you're selling it.
You serious? You want to buy it?
Yeah, maybe.
Even? I don't know.
I need small things.
I have to figure out what's a fair price.
Let's not do this now. But I do, like, I'm trying to figure out my new live set where it used to be my Prophet. I would travel with a Prophet 6, TR-8S, TB-03, and I would backline a mixer and all the cables, and I would have some effects pedals with me as well. But it's a big flight case, and it's like just me. I don't have, you know, a tour manager or things like that. So I'm trying to boil everything down. So I'm switching. Oh, and I would also have the Beat Step Pro as kicking out all the MIDI to those machines. So, and I'm trying to change that and just probably be sample based with my Octatrack.
Oh, cool. You have an Octatrack.
I have my Octatrack that I'm learning. Well, I'm learning. I'm in classes now. I'm like actually learning it and taking the year. I bought it a while ago, but literally brain fog. I just couldn't. And now I'm on the other side of that. So I've been taking classes and trying to get it's a whole different workflow and like language. So, you know, it's daunting, but I'm getting there. And that way I can just travel with that, a drum machine, probably the TB-03 and pedals, and then that's it.
That should be plenty.
And that'll be, yeah. And it'll be fun to do more, less planned out sets and more live, but still have it be safely done. So I don't know if you ever watch Mark Broom's Instagrams. Like
just the Octatrack edits that he does
are
like,
that
could
come
kill
on,
it live.
Dude. Yeah, I'm excited to see him in movement. And I think he's playing at Basement here or somewhere.
Oh, cool.
Here.
Yeah, I know he came some months ago. He played somewhere in Brooklyn. I tried to have him be a guest. I reached out. I met him many years ago, like 90s, for the first time. And
he can do no wrong. I mean,
I would love to speak to him and pick his brain and get some wisdom because he's really good, for sure. So I think, you know, we're just a little bit past 2 now. I know we started a little bit late, but I think we can wind it down for today.
Okay, yeah, we went through a lot.
Some good stuff about the key step and just thinking about how to have a workflow like this. And, you know, in a way, like, you know, I'll be honest, I'm out of practice doing this, like playing live with hardware. That's how I started making music, you know, before DAWs.
Yeah.
And I still use hardware. We have it here, obviously.
Yeah.
But I'll just do like one synth at a time and record it and then add it into the DAW and then stay in the box. Right?
Yeah.
And it's really fun. I got, you know, even with a simple setup like this, you know, 2 synths and a drum machine plus effects. I think like the effects are really crucial for like if it's only just dry synths that you're missing a layer of interest.
Absolutely.
And obviously like effects with, you know, techno and house and acid house or whatever, the effects are like instruments too. So
yeah, I was traveling with like a space pedal.
Yeah, you need the effects to play with.
And a delay pedal. And now I think I'm just going to use like a cathedral and just a delay and a flange.
Cool.
And that's it. And but you know, if you're using synths, if you're using hardware, a lot of them have all the effects in it. So that's the fun part about jamming is like and playing live is doing all that live. And like the MIDI's already taken care of because it's playing for you, and you can go through and just the arrangement. You can go through and just really build the energy and have fun and be able to look at the crowd. But also, you know, if you don't want to stare at a screen while you're being creative and you want to like shut the computer down and get some ideas out and jam on machines, like this is it. It's great.
I'm tempted.
Yeah, I mean it's great. Like you can get it probably cheap on Reverb.
Definitely consider getting one used. And
I think Arturia really likes to put out these machines, and then they have like a message board, and basically we have to figure some things out that they haven't quite figured out the kinks.
Sure.
And so
well, yeah, they all do that.
Yeah, okay, yeah.
They use their buyers, their users to like
work out the kinks.
They should, right?
Yeah.
Figure things. I mean, okay, it'd be great if there weren't any problems before release, but you know, nothing's perfect, right?
No, for sure. But they're good. And the people on these message boards are very helpful also. And it can go a lot deeper than what we just went through.
Sure thing. So anyway, yeah, let's let's wrap it up for today. This was cool. I'm going to stop the music because it's hypnotizing me right now. I can do that. I can listen to W chord stabs for hours. It's like
Me too.
meditation for me. I said this to my making techno class this week. I was like, here's what I did with like making chord stabs and effects and everything. And like, I literally can just do that. And I said, I'll like do it and then not even ever finish the track.
Yeah.
Like, it's just the process of playing with the synth and the effects.
See, that's
really
what
fun.
happens when I take psychedelics and go to the studio. I'm like, maybe it'll help me creatively. And for some people it does. But for me, I'm like, I'll snap out of it and it's been 4 hours and I've only been messing with sounds in one synth and having the time of my life, but not getting anywhere. So,
Exactly.
you know.
All right. Well, I'm going to say thanks to everybody. Thank you, Lauren, for being here and hanging out and showing us how you use the KeyStep Pro.
You're very welcome. This was fun.
Yeah, and thanks to all of you. Thanks for putting up with the technical issues. As I said, this is a new setup that we're working on, and maybe doing more things like this. And actually, we've got a 343 Pro session coming up soon. We've had Hannes Bieger here as a guest before. He's coming back next Friday, and next Thursday and Friday, actually. He's doing Thursday just like a feedback session, not going to be live streamed, and it's in person. And then Friday, he's here for 8 hours in this room, and that's what part of this was like making sure that this setup's working for an 8-hour stream with Hannes. And he's going to go through all his mixing techniques and everything. So that's the 343 Pro session. There should be a link for Pro sessions down in the description. If not, you can find it from our regular website. So check that out. And that's going to be it for now. We will see you next week.